Hi everyone, I'm back, and this vlog will be about the Royal Caribbean Cruise shore excursions in Phuket and Penang. For our first day in Phuket, we signed up for this shore excursion called Phuket Sightseeing and Cabaret Extravaganza. Because the cruise was too big to park right next to the jetty, we had to take a tender boat, which is a smaller boat that takes you about 10 to 15 minutes to reach the jetty at Patong beach. There's a toilet on the tender boat as well, and I would suggest going to the restroom before you reach Patong beach because it's quite difficult to find washrooms there. When you reach Patong beach, there will be guides holding up signs that say Royal Caribbean, and if you ask, they will be willing to share with you the schedule of the day. However, the locations and schedule are subject to change depending on the circumstances. The first place they brought us to was Paragon beach, where we had about 15 minutes to take photos here. It's the second biggest beach in Phuket. The weather was so hot, I think I grew 2 shades darker because I wasn't wearing sunscreen. The next place that we went to was Wat Thai Temple. This was an interesting experience for me because it was the first time I was allowed inside of a temple. Typically, I'm not due to religious reasons and my family is quite strict about it, but I requested to go in just to film the experience so that I can share with you guys. I thought it was really peaceful inside of the temple and the designs were really intricate and beautiful. There was another tour group inside of the temple that I think specifically requested to receive blessings from the monks in the form of bracelets. This was overall a very chill place, very quiet. I would also recommend bringing snacks along the way just in case you get stuck in traffic, because we did, and our lunch was like at 4 p.m. This next place, the Cashew nut factory, was the most fun part of the tour for me. There were demonstrations on how they removed the cashew nuts, and the best part was that they lined everyone up so that we could try all of the different flavors of cashews. They were not stingy at all on the number of times that you wanted to try the cashews, and I think this helped them boost sales because people were more willing to buy if they were allowed to try as many times as they wanted. Anyway, I'm here to announce that these are my top 5 favorites. I can't seem to find them online, so if you happen to be there, you might as well buy as many as you can. Because of a traffic jam, we only reached Jungceylon Mall at about 3:30 p.m. So we only had 2 hours to spend here because we had to leave at 5:30 for the cabaret. So we decided to eat at Thai Food Factory and come back for shopping the next day instead. The food here was pretty decent. We ordered something safe, which was deep fried garlic pork, green curry chicken, and chicken with sticky rice. Other than the distance from the cashew nut factory to Jungceylon Mall, the other locations were pretty close to each other, about 20 minutes. So if you have IBS like me, don't worry too much, just don't eat anything weird the day before. Next is the final stop of the tour, which was Simon Cabaret. This was the first cabaret that I've attended in my life. They only allow you to film during the first and last 5 minutes-ish of the show. I thought the girls were beautiful and the costumes were super colorful and pretty. This one in particular made them look like butterflies, which I loved. I did feel that Some of the dances were a little bit vulgar, but I'm not sure whether or not the kids understood what was going on because there was a kid behind me, and after the entire show, all she said was, 我都看呆了. After the show, you can actually take pictures with the dancers for about 100 to 200 baht if I'm not wrong. After a long day, it was finally time to head back to the cruise, and the tender boats are actually active for 24 hours during the stopover at Phuket, so don't worry about trying to find transport back to the cruise. The next day, we decided to just do some light shopping at Jungceylon and walk along the streets that line Patong beach. I think I was a lot more relaxed on this day because it was free and easy, so I didn't have to stick to a certain schedule and I was able to observe my surroundings a lot more. When we arrived at the jetty, we saw these ikan bilis looking fish at the beach, which was quite interesting, and we stopped to buy some souvenirs and snacks from the 7-Eleven. I have no idea what these snacks mean, but we just bought a few to try and they all tasted good. We decided to take a taxi directly to Jungceylon, and along the way we passed by Patong beach and all the different stores. The first stop was lunch at Mama Thai Asian Food. Why we tried this place was because I searched it online and it was the first thing that caught my eye in the mall directory. The food was pretty good. We once again got deep fried garlic pork, green curry chicken, and grilled chicken with noodles. Honestly, the mall was absolutely huge and I don't think we would have been able to complete shopping even if we spent an entire day there. It was split into the jungle, the bay, the garden, and the botanica. The only thing I bought was a diffuser that promised me wealth. We decided to walk back to the jetty instead because it was nearer than we expected, and along the streets we actually saw a lot of weed shops, so Singaporeans, please be careful. I have no idea what this activity is called, but it looks pretty dangerous. Not my thing, but there were a lot of water sports that you can try along the beach. We wanted to take the earlier tender boat back to the cruise just in case we missed it and would be stranded in Phuket. I also bought a bracelet from this jewelry shop called Nakamo. This was about 5 minutes away from the jetty. Their pieces were quite unique because they combined bright colors, seashells, and different charms, so I felt that it was a worthy splurge before I headed back to the cruise. When we reached Penang, we didn't join any shore excursion because we only had less than a day if I'm not wrong, so we decided to shop at Gurney Paragon Mall and Gurney Plaza, and we also managed to squeeze in a last-minute sightseeing to Fort Cornwallis. We only spent about 1.5 hours at each mall, so it was quite a rush. After going to both of the malls, personally I preferred Gurney Plaza because there was more shopping that matched my taste, but Gurney Paragon Mall had some cute pop-up stores that sold accessories and bags, and I thought those were quite nice as well. On the other hand, in Gurney Plaza, I felt that there were more clothings that I could try and were my style. Also, there were a lot of Lunar New Year decorations because we did go on this cruise on the second day of the Lunar New Year. Anyway, the only reason we visited Fort Cornwallis was because it was directly opposite the place where the cruise was parked. We were a bit too early for dinner, so we decided to take a walk before going back to the cruise. It was a really quiet place. Honestly, we may have been the only tourists there. So we took a lot of photos without any stress. If it is your first time in Penang, it may be worth it to join the short excursion, but do note that at every place that you visit, they may ask you to buy their products, which was what we wanted to avoid because we had already been to some of the places. I think overall I did enjoy my time in Phuket and Penang, and these short trips made me more curious as to what different things I could do in Phuket and Penang if I went there on another occasion. My next vlog will be about the Royal Caribbean, Anthem of the Seas, my experience on the cruise, what I ate, and the different places and decks that I visited on the cruise itself. I don't know when it'll be up because my school semester can sometimes get very intense, but I will get it up ASAP and please look forward to it. Bye!